It was about being a sorcerer, doing black magic. And no, folks, be like everything, there are good people and bad people. And there are different religions. Today, on the late night, paranormal floor, Apai and the Umbanda are going to dispel all the myths. Report. When it comes to Afro-American religions, many prefer to look the other way, but looking away doesn't make them disappear, much less understand them. The Umbanda religion was born in Brazil at the beginning of the 20th century, a living syncretic religion that combines elements of Catholicism, Spiritism, and African traditions, a faith that does not worship the devil, as many believe, and is not synonymous with black magic either. Umbanda venerates the Orishas, divine energies that represent forces of nature, water, thunder, the forest, love, and justice. It works with spiritual guides. Each one brings messages, healing, balance. And yes, there are also rituals, candles, chants, baths, and prayers. But that doesn't mean one should fear them, because fear almost always stems from ignorance. There are those who use their faith to help, and those who manipulate it to dominate. But that is not exclusive to Umbanda. That happens everywhere.
Confusing an Umbandist with a dark sorcerer is like thinking every priest is an exorcist, or that every mass hides a pact.
Generalizing is the first step towards prejudice. Umbanda does not seek to harm. It seeks to balance, to seek spiritual justice, to accompany those who suffer, and to give a voice to those who are no longer here. Like any religion, it is made up of people, and people can use faith to heal or to dominate. So, is it good or bad? The question is poorly formulated, because no faith is born for evil.
What makes the difference is not the altar, but the heart of the one who stands before it.
Paranormal late night, where the hidden also deserves to be understood. Well, folks, what you see are a bunch of images linked to the Umbanda world. That's why we invited Mai Graciela Cuella and Pai Leandro Fuentes, who are live with us. I'll greet you first, Graciela. How are you doing?
Very good evening. A bit nervous because it's the first time I've come to a place like this. But, well, mainly to make people understand that they are mistaken, that the religion itself is about seeking the balance of the material world and also harmonizing everything that is the spiritual world. And above all, health, in terms of physical health, helping, being able to find something spiritual, a spiritual guide, more than anything.
I will greet Leandro, Pai Leandro, who is also live. Leandro, how are you?
Good evening, Héctor. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for coming.
No, please. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
I will ask the same question to both of you. If it seems okay to you, we'll do the interview like this. I'll ask the question, and each of you will answer, because you two didn't know each other. No.
They are two viewers or radio listeners who arrived by separate paths, but both are Umbandists.
So, I will ask the question, and both of you will answer according to your perspective. I'll start with Leandro.
Why do you think, Leandro, that so many people, instead of saying, me, black magic, say Umbandism?
They talk to you about having a spell cast on them. They talk about evil and immediately say no, claiming they are Umbandis, as if synonymous.
Why does it sell?
Why does it sell?
Why does it sell? Let me explain. Look, the religion is ancient. And in 1908, what is known as the Umbanda part was born. You see? And everything is divided into three lines, which are Santo, Umbanda, and Imbando. Anything that involves lighting a candle or making an offering has a foundation. Or it's making an offering to a saint. And it's always to ask for something. The religion has a foundation that there is never a lack of bread on the table, that there is no lack of work, that there is spirituality. The other day, you were talking with a colleague as well, a religious person, on the phone, on Zoom, I think it was, and he mentioned that there was a hymn to Umbanda.
Yes. There's a problem with your microphone, and be careful because there's an open microphone behind the camera. I'm hearing Jose over here. So be careful because there's an open microphone behind the camera. Fix his microphone and I'll stay with Graciela. Give me a second. Live television is like this. And you know, well, those of you who follow us know that when these things happen, It's for a reason.
I don't want to influence you.
Now we'll change your microphone. Graciela, I'll ask you the same question. Why so many people?
Because it's not just one. There are many who, instead of saying they do black magic, they say they're a gang, they say.
Or macumberos, right?
Or macumberos. Or macumberos.
We are also very discriminated against, but what we want to convey is that this religion is based on all things that are natural. It's about protecting nature. We have a mother who is Imanya. We brought several images so that they can understand with the Pai. So they can see that it's nothing bad, that everyone has their own way of.
But do you agree, Graciela, that when someone is unaware, it can be a bit scary for them, like for me?
Seeing these figures already makes me very curious. But I know there are many people who directly say, no, take that away, take that away.
Because many times people, out of ignorance, because no one has to be knowing, studying. But this religion is based on many indigenous beliefs, on those of African blacks, on Catholic secrecy. And what it is also based on is nature in everything that is part of each of these orila.
What does Shos mean?
Orila is holy.
Saints, what for Catholics are the saints, let's say?
Of course.
It is based on the 24 Catholic saints, except that the African blacks were so forbidden from entering a Catholic church, they were severely punished. They had to serve only the white people. So they looked for a way to transmit their faith to the saints. So they searched in the fields, on the road, in the sea, where we have Estela Maris, the famous Yemanja of Umbanda, our mother. And well, there are many entities that are studied, that are asked for, but it's all for health, for upbringing, for justice.
All right, now, I'm going to go through the figures, and you will tell me. You all will tell me what each one of them is. But I'll go back to Leandro and we'll change your mic.
The question I was asking you, and I'll add one more. But wait, isn't there people who do evil?
Like everything, I understand that within Umbanda there are people who use it for evil. And the question is, can it also be used for evil?
Of course, the thing is that no religion is bad, only the people. There are people who mix religion with other types of spiritual activities, and from there they face the consequences. In other words, it's not the religion that does evil, but the person. Then you have, in this, you will find everything. What also happens is, there's another thing I will explain to you just now, that the religion originates from enslaved black people, and no one ever talks about the African Holocaust, how they died on the ships when they tried to escape.
Of course, inhumane conditions.
Yes, and they were sold for coins, exploited.
There's a lot of suffering in spirits.
Yes, there's a lot of suffering, and they seek to bring light and peace. The religion is ancient. Since the time of Christ, the African religion has existed. If you look like this, you have different, there are several books like this in African dialect and all that. But people misinterpret everything because, look, the big image, which is St. George the Warrior, is the Catholic image.
I'm going to go look at the images. Open the microphone on the headset because I'm going to stand up.
Bear with me, and I'm going to get closer to the images, to see them with you, and you tell me what each of these images is about. Don't worry, I'm going to walk slowly, don't be scared, because I want to show you live at Uni 25. What you are also seeing on the IT screen.
Here, the first image.
What is this?
We have Payogun, but in the Catholic Church, he is called St. George. This week, the data of Payogun has been made, which is the feast of St. George on April 23rd. And a lot is asked of him for legal matters. He is the lawyer when there are issues with documents. For people who need to advance their paperwork, legal matters, he cuts through or frees, mostly frees. good things are asked of them, it's nothing bad. Like they say no, but be careful because they are asking for bad things. No, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Can I ask you one by one? So, both of you can speak. The second one, what is it?
The second one is Yango.
Who is Yango?
Yango is, in Catholicism, Saint Mark of Leon. And he is also the owner of justice, of lawyers, of judges. He is symbolized by the axe.
There is an axe down there. Is that axe the one?
The axe belongs to the Paishango. And also, judicial matters, all of that is related to the Paishango.
All right, let's keep moving forward. And who is she?
The Mayoyun, right? She represents, there are many Mayoyun. She represents the fertility of children. She takes care of women's pregnancies. She is venerated every year on December 8th at the Quilmes River. There are many people who go there with their little boat and with the heart and devotion to offer an apple. This year, we also have many things to do, like organizing a call to not throw trash in the river, because it is her place, the kingdom of the Mayoyum. And when there are children who are unwell, people ask the Mayoyun for help.
All right. Hey, is this Jesus?
The one coming? Yes, that one is the one of Christ. It's Jesus who symbolizes Payoshala.
Let me see. But forgive me. Is it the figure of Jesus of the Sacred Heart or not? Yes. What does he have in his left hand? He has something like a ball. Is it the world? Of course, yes, because look. It's the first time I see this image. It's Jesus Christ, it seems to me, with the Sacred Heart. But look at what he has in his hand.
Of course, because it represents that he is the king of this world. Payoshala would be Jesus.
But it's the same entity, let's say.
It's the same.
Do you call him Payoshala?
Of course, Payoshala in Portuguese.
Okay. Folks, we are live, demystifying Umbandism. I proceed. Who is she?
The Queen of Umbanda, our mother, Maimanya.
She's like the most famous one, right? The most popular?
Of course, she is the one who fought for all the enslaved black people. She was the one who freed all the enslaved black people who were liberated. She is the one who gives children to the world. Women who cannot have children ask Iman Shah. Just with a flower, perfume, without polluting the water, without polluting the rivers and seas, they ask the beautiful May. She has given many children who couldn't arrive, and many people have asked me, please, who have lost children. With her, we managed to bring beautiful children. She is the May of Lombanda, the mother of all of us.
We keep moving forward. 1:29 in the morning. Who is she?
The Mayoya. The Mayoya in Catholicism is Saint Rose. She symbolizes the owner of the house. She is also a warrior. And for example, everything related to recovering a house or ensuring the house is stable, she represents all of that. She is the owner of tempests, storms, and lightning.
Guys, both to Leandro and Graciela, I want to say something to you and to our colleagues. Beyond the fact that we are broadcasting live on IP Noticias, I can already assure you that this segment uploaded to TikTok will have millions of views. Remember what I'm telling you? Because we are doing something that has never been done before, where the symbols of Umbanda are explained one by one, publicly and popularly. I'll continue. Who is she? I don't want to cover her, Director. Let me move to the other side. Who is she, Graciela?
The Maya Yurema,
Who is Ayurema?
she is a cabocla, an indigenous person. In other words, the Umbanda religion is also based on indigenous aboriginals, on aboriginal beliefs, as well, who were warriors on earth, and obviously transcended. They had their own lives, like all of us, but they transcend. And people ask her to ensure there is no lack of food. People ask her for well-being. She's an indigenous woman, with glass eyes. If you look, you can focus on them.
Can I cross over?
Here, can I go through, so I can show her to the director? Sorry, Chelo, I'm telling the director so we can see her well. It's her. It's her. Sorry, can it be touched? You can lift it if you want. Can I lift it? Yes, yes.
With green, glass eyes.
Where should I show it to you?
Here, the crane? Or do you want?
Yes?
Okay. What else were you saying, Graciela?
Well, she's Ayurema, a cabocla who obviously transcended. She was a warrior. She always heals with herbs. A lot is asked of her for healing, and she performs all baths. But it's all about nature, all with herbs.
Good. More figures. We are demystifying Umbandism. This guy with the pipe, who is he?
Black Veil.
Black Veil. Another popular one is this, right? Yes.
They are the grandfathers, the African elders. They are the ones who heal the liver, the indigestion. They are the owners of Ru. It has to do with curing headaches, toothaches, bone pains. Because since they are elders, they work with them to heal the children. Their offering is made with fried cake and dulce de leche.
Do they prepare that and leave it for them?
Of course it's prepared. There's an altar, let's say. Yes, on an altar or when sessions are held. Can I clarify something else for you regarding this? Each one has their own foods and a purpose, which is abundance. So when someone attends one of our sessions, the food is distributed so that people take abundance with them. It is shared. It is shared. And well, Preto Velo is Preto and Preta. They are a couple.
The grandparents.
They're the grandparents.
The old folks over there.
These two represent the...
Exactly. Good.
Let's see if they're... Here, I'll leave it for you to show.
Depending on the tour that Preto Velo has, they come down. We make it happen. But there's a Pemba, which I didn't bring, where they mark a point indicating where they come from, so that it's understood. And they can have names like Maria Conga, Maria Aon Maria, several African names that they give to indicate where the entities come from.
Good. This one catches my attention a lot. This... Well, since you arrived, I haven't stopped looking at this figure. I need to know what it is.
Look, exactly, Héctor. Just like there's the zodiac, with signs for everyone. Well, we also have what is called the Orisha of the year. And this Orisha is called Yapana, which many people... Why is it covered with straw?
Yes, but you can't see its face.
You can't see its face. There are many legends, well, that he had, that little sea creatures ate all of his skin. So the Mayoya, the one in red, had put the straw on him. So he could cover everything that scared him, that made him ashamed. So the Paishapana, which is called Omolu, he also has his name. And this year, on the Paishapana, is about the plague. When they say the Paishapana is coming, people ask him for help with all skin problems. All the people who come with skin problems, psoriasis, nervous issues, they ask Mr. Yapana.
All right, I'm going to support it on the table. I'm going to skip these little ones, forgive me, so we can move forward, and I'll go this way.
One thing is clear. In 2020, before the pandemic, every year, Anorilla rules, Anorilla enters. From the pandemic, he is the owner of the plagues. During the pandemic, he entered exactly. The pandemic entered exactly.
We know it's not fair that nothing is a coincidence. Well, I'll move to this side. These two women, who are they?
Mrs. Chigana da Praia, she is the entity I bring forth. She marked a point, so you can remember what it is. Marking a point, Ota, is a Pemba where the entity descends. You ask where it comes from, and she marks to see if the entity is accurate. And well, she is a gypsy.
Okay, both are beautiful.
It's the same, but there's a big difference there.
Are they not the same entity? Or are they... No.
we have a Cigana, and we have a Maria Mulambo, who is a Pombagira, the famous Pombagira.
Which is Pombagira? This one?
The one in black, yes.
Does the Pombagira have any darkness? No.
No. One asks her. That is Quimbanda. Although this is all Umbanda, we are in the Quimbanda line. It's a passage I have, which is Maria Mulambo and Lady Maria Mulambo da Strada. Always dwells in what is the cemetery. It doesn't mean that bad things are done with her, not at all. She is the one who cleans, who sweeps away all negative vibrations. And when people come with spiritual problems, with problems that are driving them crazy, or they hear things, Maria Mulambo comes into play, and there is an offering, which is left in the trash.
All that work goes to the trash, so it can go away.
Exactly. She cleans all that energy.
Leandro, who is he?
Let me explain something about Quimbanda. November 2nd is the Date of Souls, which is the celebration, the day.
Of the dead as well.
Of course, it's the Day of the Dead. In Mexico, Santa Muerte is celebrated like this, and they perform all their ceremonies. And well, there are different calongas, which are called places where they dwell. Well, you mentioned something the other time about when one dies, the cemetery. Well, they are in the cemetery. And the owner of the main cross, which is Payo Mulu, is the one who commands all the entities. And when one goes to the cemetery, they must always leave and cleanse themselves because they might bring something attached.
How should one cleanse themselves?
With water. If one like us who are religious goes to the cemetery to see a relative, it is complemented with coins, with the Pai and Omulu. When you enter, you compliment at the main cross. And when you leave.
What does compliment mean?
It complements that by greeting them, going and letting them know we were there. And the coins, what do you do with them? The coins are left.
Of course, you leave coins, you move coins, and ask permission. At the cemetery gate, you leave them. Many people say, but why do they throw coins? And it's because they don't really know. The spiritualist always has their ways of thanking the spirits and not taking them with them afterwards.
So this phrase, you brought something stuck from the cemetery, is it real?
Yes, it's real. Yes. There are many people who enter the cemetery. And then, because there are also people who don't believe, who think they just go in to look, to visit their loved one and leave. But you always pick up bad energies. They are energetic microparticles that detach. So when you leave or are arriving home, you need to cleanse yourself with water.
With natural water? With water, yes, natural. All right.
You lean back. We in the region do it differently. Since we are religious, imagine we go out on the street and pass through a dark place. Everything sticks to us because we incorporate entities.
That will be the second interview I will do with you, because today was an introduction to the figures. But I want to invite you again next week to talk specifically about incorporations. But I want to finish. Who is he?
He is Epilindra, the Yus Pilindra, from the town of Malandrayan, of the Malandra. He represents the Exu that is related. For example, to Na, when they were alive, they were all merchants, or they traded things stolen. Notice that he is on a street lamp. It's as if he were a tango dancer from the outskirts here in...
Yes, he has that vibe.
Exactly. Recently, they watched a series, which is the Candelaria Massacre that was on an app. Well, there's an episode where one of the kids, which was true, incorporated a Sepilindra that appears in the episode, and this kid lived on the street and was doing things he shouldn't. Well, that Exu represents that when one has to work to be protected or to take care of or complement, with these things, it's with the Exu Sepilindra.
Exu Malandro, it's also called. It has another way of being called, Exu Tag. It's an Exu for those people who like money, gambling, going to bingo, because there are many clients who tell me, what can I do to win a lot? So they ask Exu Malandro.
This one.
Yes, you place it inside the little lantern, right? But between the lantern and him, you put money.
In that hole.
Money. So what he does is act as the guardian of the game of chess. He's from the favelas of Brazil. He was a real person and transcends with their lives, right? Until becoming an exu. He is also part of the Umbanda in Brazil. He is used both in the Umbanda Congal. We call it Congal, which is like how Catholics have their little table with their Virgin Mary. We have our Congal. And he can be in both Umbanda and Quimbanda because he transcends. He is an exu that transcends in both places.
Guys, thank you very much for coming. Pai Leandro, my Graciela. I will invite you again so we can talk about incorporations.
Jorge, I wanted to give you something.
Héctor, why? But someone is Jorge anyway, huh? There must be a Jorge. I'll go to the other side so you can give it to me in my hand. Wait, what? Let's see.
May it be for your ashe. This is the guide of May Imanja and the guide of Pai Oxala. I'll put it on you later. When you get home, you can keep it. It's for your protection. It means the white is Oxala, who is Jesus. We talk about Jesus. And this Yemanja, who is the goddess, our mother, Yemanja Bochi. And we have another one, and this one is for you to have.
Are you really giving it to me?
So well.
No, thank you very much. Look, thank you very much.
So, thanks to the production team that treated me wonderfully.
Thanks to both of you for coming. And clearly, we'll see each other soon, right? So we can talk about incorporations. Hey, I want to thank you because I know it's a taboo subject for many. You are dedicated and are part of the religion, but it's a taboo subject and you know it, right? And there is a lot of ignorance. So I think we have made a great contribution to shedding light, especially for so many people who sometimes speak without knowing, and for many who were afraid of Umbanda. And I think that after this interview, they will start to understand what it's about. To both of you, thank you very much. Thank you very much, eh?
No, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, truly.
I always listen to you. Well, I've been listening to you for years, and I never dared to send an audio or write because I have a lot of paranormal stories, you know? But I always listen to you, and well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you truly for coming. Thank you, Graciela.
We have something in common, Gustavo Cerati.
Let's go, Cerati. I'm sure you have a story too.
Good vibe.
We will be back soon with you. Stay for a minute, and we continue live until 2. Don't go away.